Israel's Defence Force has seized control of the Rafah crossing on Gaza's side, but humanitarian organisations are concerned the latest developments could see the movement of important aid cut off. John Sparks reports.
It is very difficult to interpret, very difficult to read. I mean, should we start with Rafah? The IDF said, the Israel Defense Forces say they've seized it. They've now got control of the crossing on the Gaza side. They described it as a very precise counter-terrorism operation. But we also saw them release these really quite bombastic pictures of the operation. Their tanks decked out in flags, a couple of tanks rolling over "Welcome to Gaza" signs and that sort of thing. And I think one of the big questions right now is are we looking at what is a limited operation, as the Israelis are describing it, or are we at the beginning of something much bigger, a major military operation in southern Gaza? This is the only part of the territory that the Israelis do not occupy. It is the last bastion of Hamas on the Gaza Strip. I think it was interesting and significant today that in recorded comments by the government press service here in Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu said military pressure on Hamas is necessary to get back the hostages. So clearly there is a view here, I'd say the dominant view, that military pressure works. And I think that's interesting in the context of the peace negotiations or the ceasefire negotiations that are going on at the moment. Real concerns from the international community, from the UK, from the US, international aid agencies about what would happen in Rafah if the Israelis expand their military operations there. You've got international aid agencies warning of catastrophic consequences because you've got more than 1 million people who have fled to Rafah. They are now taking shelter in this city, and it is terribly overcrowded. We've heard from the UN Secretary General, Antonio Guterres, today saying that attacks in Rafah would be a strategic mistake, a political calamity, and a humanitarian nightmare. But again, I think the calculation here within the Netanyahu administration is that military pressure on Hamas works.